Hey guys, so I'm sitting here reading up on native plants, and this is what I come across. I've been pointing out basically all this month on my social media page about ways that they're basically hinting at who or telling who the indigenous people of America are. Um, the ones who don't look like the Hollywood depictions. Okay. They've been hitting towards this all month long, and really they do it all the time. So echinacea, other names: Kansas niggerhead. Then it goes on to say another name is Indian head. So niggerhead and Indian head is not anything different. So the nigger is the Indian. So there's that. So I'm like, okay, let's look up niggerhead. So what is niggerhead? The Collaborative International Dictionary: niggerhead, a strong black chewing tobacco, usually in twisted plug form. Negro head. It says it's archaic. Then it says Douglas Harper's Etymology Dictionary: from nigger plus head, a term used formally in the United States of various things such as cheap tobacco, protruding root mass in a swamp, a type of cactus, and the black-eyed Susan. Um, I believe that is a flower. And then variant Negro head, attested from 1781. Then it says Wiktionary, niggerhead, contextual nautical date, now offensive English: a bollard made from an old canyon, a geode, a coneflower, which that's the echinacea. I just showed you guys that's a coneflower, an isolated part of a coral reef, a tussock found on tundra, a strong black variety of chewing tobacco. So this is going to show you, this is showing you that they know you're the indigenous people. Tobacco is from the Americas, okay? So they know who you are, and they're pointing to it. But see, these words and stuff, this is what happens when people talk about, oh, erase this, change this, it's no longer acceptable. When you're getting rid of things that you no longer deem as being acceptable, or saying it never was acceptable, what you're doing is getting rid of history. I am not for, at this time, the condition that the country is in right now, the condition that people, indigenous people all throughout America are in. I am not for erasing any part of history, no matter how ugly it is. I think it needs to be known what has happened to indigenous people at the hands of a colonial regime. And so I'm not for erasing things, whether it's, movies, or whether it's words, or whether it's flags and, things like that. Like, no. How about you all put it in a museum, or put a disclaimer on whatever it is. If it's a show or a film, put a disclaimer on it before watching it. If it's something else, an item or anything like that, we'll include a disclaimer, like a little on a piece of paper, of just information, educate. Because by saying get rid of something just because it's not positive, okay, what you're doing is erasing history. You're partaking in erasure. So what they can say once they take things away, which some of you are calling for out of emotion, out of imbalanced emotion, if they take this stuff away, they could be like, we never did it, and you don't have proof that it was done. Do you see what I'm saying? No, there needs to always be proof that this stuff was done to us, that all of these things were going on. So that's one point I wanted to make. The other point I wanted to make is that the fact that they are calling these plants niggerhead shows that they understand we are just as rooted to the land as the plant life. So that's another point I wanted to make. Yeah, it says the term was once widely used for all sorts of things, including nautical bollards and consumer products, including soap, chewing tobacco, stove polish, canned oysters and shrimp, golf tees, and toy cap pistols, among others. It was often used for geographic features such as hills and rocks and geological objects such as geodes. The term appears in several U.S. patents for mechanical devices prior to 1950. In 1955, the Ogdenbaugh Canning Company of Mississippi renamed its Niggerhead brand oysters to Negro Head brand, following pressure from the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People. So here we go with these associations, which NAACP was founded mostly by Caucasian people. But here we go with them asking, take it away, take it away, take it away. No, don't take it away. Leave it there. But put information alongside it so that people can learn from it. But don't erase it as if it never existed, because it did, and it still affects us to this day. It says more than 100 niggerheads and other place names now considered racially offensive were changed in 1962 by the U.S. Board on Geographic Names, but many local names remain unchanged. Languages other than English have used similar terms to describe chocolate-coated marshmallow treats. So, yeah, I was like, let me share that. That is basically all that I have to share in regards to that whole thing.